When it comes to guilty pleasures, Nick, a little bit of moderate alcohol consumption, or whether it's, the odd takeaway, what's your approach, especially to people who are trying to keep a strict fitness regime but are prone to maybe lapsing?
Sure. We tackle that two ways. I think the first way is that we have an 80-20 rule, which is you do the right things 80% of the time, and then you get that opportunity to relax. And I think that works quite nicely because no one likes to be told exactly what to do, and quite rightly people should be given a choice. So I think that 80-20 rule is quite nice. The other way I think is we try and make those less than savoury items more healthy. So we would be quite happy to supply hamburgers, chips, pizza, for example, but we might do it our way. So again, focusing on the quality of the produce, I think you can turn any food or a menu that's perceived to be unhealthy, you can make it slightly more healthy and actually more palatable by selecting good quality foods.
And for those who don't exercise quite so regularly but are also interested in following a very healthy diet, are there any practical tips that you can give them, maybe things that they should cut out of their diet, any little changes that they can make to make a big difference? So what kind of things would you recommend that they avoid?
A couple of things. The first is that even with our guys the same things still apply. When you look across the board at young players, there are certain things that those players overconsume and underconsume. And in simple terms, people tend to overconsume sugar, and people tend to, and certain types of fat, and tend to underconsume fruits and vegetables, fish, and also certain good forms of fat. And fat's often an overlooked nutrient. I think the reason why the health of the nation is in such a way is predominantly due to an overconsumption of sugar rather than fat. It's sugar that makes people overweight, not fat, and that's something we have to get to grips with. But also the type of fats that people consume. If you look in the back of any long life product on a supermarket, invariably you'll see palm oil or vegetable oil or sunflower oil or peanut oil, and if those oils are handled in the wrong way, they can be potentially disadvantageous to health, and they are classically termed the omega-6 fats, and we overconsume those, and that's part of the problem in people's health at the moment. Likewise, people are under-consuming the omega-3 fats, which are typically found in fish, some nuts, and very few plants actually. And it's all very well adding omega-3 to yogurts, dairy produce and so on, but I do think that we have to obtain those nutrients from the baseline food source. So I think, yeah, it's an underconsumption of fruits and vegetables, and really vegetables. We have a rule of 9 portions of fruit and vegetables a day, of which 6 should be vegetables. We also encourage players to eat fruits that they are culturally exposed to. So if you are a Northern European country, then you might be better off eating Northern European fruits, and it works similarly for some of our African guys and guys that live close to the equator and so on. But yeah, I think it's an underconsumption of vegetables, an underconsumption of fish and good fats, and an overconsumption of sugar and an overconsumption of bad fats from vegetable oils.